Cooper Marcher here. I'm going to try to educate you today something called time zones. We talked recently about daylight saving time, but I just discovered there's such a thing as time zones. That's right, time zones. And you won't believe how amazing they are and complicated and confusing. Do you know that when it's 6 a.m. here at my house, it isn't 6 a.m. at everybody's house? This is true. There are 9 time zones by law in the United States and its dependencies. However, adding the time zones of 2 uninhabited territories, Howland Island and Baker Island, brings the total count to 11 time zones. The contiguous U.S. has 4 standard time zones. They are called Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern. I live in the Eastern time zone. In addition, Alaska, Hawaii, and 5 U.S. dependencies all have their own time zones. The expansion of transportation and communication during the 19th century created a need for unifying timekeeping systems, and time zones were introduced. So, if this isn't complicated enough, there are time zones all over the world. It is mind-boggling. There are 24 different time zones in the world. Can you imagine that? There are 16 others too, but they are not usually taken into account in official international matters. So, let's think about this for a moment. A good example would be when my mom is talking to my Auntie Pam in England, it will be 2 p.m. here and 7 p.m. there. Isn't that wild? And if it's 2 p.m. here, it's only 11 a.m. in California. Go figure! And sometimes you can fly in an airplane through time zones and arrive somewhere the day before you left, or days later. I don't know who came up with this system, but it seems really strange. That's why a few years ago, professors at Johns Hopkins University proposed an even simpler solution. They want to do away with time zones completely and put the entire world on universal time. Under their system, when it's 9 o'clock in one place, it's 9 o'clock everywhere on the planet, even if it's morning in one place and evening in another. This topic is so complex I could talk for days, but I won't, I promise. You should investigate time zones because they are really interesting. Cooper Marcher here. Ciao.